Tyler Dorsey's a shooting guard. He averaged about 9 points a game. He was taken the second round by the Atlanta Hawks, and they got him from Oregon. He was on that really good Oregon team. And
what's his name again?
Tyler Dorsey.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was on the Oregon team, and he played very well for them.
Yeah.
And you also got rid of Temple. And
he's back with his old buddy.
That's right.
We got Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, so they'll be together.
And you basically, I mean, what happened today is you got JaMychal Green. You got rid of him, Garrett Temple, for Avery Bradley. And this is a guy.
JaMychal Green.
JaMychal Green went today, too. Yep, Sheldon Mack went.
I like Sheldon Mack. I mean, he started off. Let me finish. He started off good, like you, and I think Matt said that it's one of these things where they figured him out in a hurry, and so he couldn't create the shots, or he didn't surprise anybody with his offense like he did earlier in the season. Does that make sense?
That's true. But I mean, he had a good about 15-game run. Played very well, and everybody figured him out, and he is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Dorsey's a young player, 6'5", can jump. And, excuse me.
Yeah, Dorsey was tough. I enjoyed watching him. It was amazing how good that whole team and how the nation embraced them, got to know who they were. Yeah, and their best rebounder got injured just before the championship game, or even before the tournament. What was I can't remember him.
I can't remember his name. I know he's about 6'9". Yeah, but I think he.
And then there was one of
got drafted in the NBA, played some up there. Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
But I mean,
what else?
To me, this is a trade right here that kind of you got younger, but you didn't get the draft choice except for 2024 draft choices. Heck, Bill, we may not be even alive by the time that happens. But you did. So your new roster is Valanciunas and Joakim Noah, your centers, Jaren Jackson, Ivan Rapp, and Bruno Caboclo, who they have signed for the remainder of the season. Kyle Anderson, C.J. Miles. They put Chandler Parsons in here. Julian Washburn, he's on a 10-day contract. Justin Holiday, who's a shooting guard they picked up. Avery Bradley, Javon Carter, and Yuta Watanabe, and he's a Japanese player that they signed. Point guards will be Mike Conley and DeLon Wright, and probably Tyler Dorsey. Oh, yeah? So our number here is 452-3094. We asked Grizzlies fans out there what they think about this trade.
That's right. And this segment is brought to you by Jimmy McElroy, attorney at law, along with the Germantown Hardware, also Chick-fil-A, Central Barbecue, the Burger Joint, Five Ash Roofing, and building materials on Jackson, and my good friends over at Sleep Cheap. So we're just glad to have our sponsors mentioned here on the show. All right, let's get going.
One of the things is some of these guys are on some expiring contracts where they could get rid of them and build a new team. But another thing is Jaren Jackson. They're building the team around him right now.
Yeah, I think so. And he's worthy of it. I know he's a youngster, but he comes from good stock. His mom and dad are invested in the NBA and the WNBA. Plus, he was coached well. Didn't play as much as he should have, and probably would have this year for sure.
Well, he will now.
Yeah, I'm talking about if he stayed in college, but no, he's played well, and he's got the right demeanor. I really like the young man. I think he's going to do well. We could build around him.
And you look at it from this standpoint. Gasol would come out and he shot 3-pointers. He sometimes got down low, clogged up the middle, and I guess the Grizzlies' way of thinking is that they've got someone who's just a banger rebounder in Valanciunas, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he's 7'1".
Yeah, he's up there.
I mean, he's a big banger. I mean, he averages, like I said, 7-8 rebounds, and it's kind of what they needed. And he's only 26 years old. Marc Gasol was 34. So
was it 34?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He was 34. In a roundabout way, they got more youth.
I think that's great. And the tutelage of one, point guard, Mike Conley, is going to be great for as far as an on the floor kind of coach too, and work with these guys, and they'll learn from his experience. I think it's kind of refreshing. Do you agree with this move? I thought at first, but nothing's being done positive, so we got to at least try to get what equity we can out of Gasol. We must have to be able to turn this deal.
Well, I can tell you this. C.J. Miles and DeLon Wright are both better than Garrett Temple, okay?
Yeah, we kind of saw
Avery Bradley is better than Garrett Temple, and he's better than Shelvin Mack. Tyler Dorsey, I don't know, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's better than him. So I would not say Valanciunas is better than Gasol. No, I don't believe anyway, but you got 3 players for him, which,
right.
Plus
we got to got rid of all that.
And like I said, you can waive these guys. They're on expiring contracts.
Yeah.
So in a way, yeah. I mean, you may have gotten better. I mean, you'll at least have more scoring.
How could we not be better? I mean, we just haven't been playing. We won the other night by 1 point. I mean, we almost had a ticker tape parade, didn't we? I mean, against the Timberwolves. I mean, it's just one of these things where it's hard to come by a win today. So things need to change. But and I don't think the city's complaining. Do you?
I think the city will miss Mark Gasol.
Yeah, I don't like the way they let him go. I mean, he needs the same.
But then again, you weren't going to be able to re-sign him. And you're getting this kid here, you may not be able to re-sign him, but he's 26 years old.
Why can't you re-sign? What's the deal? What did you say you can't re-sign?
I mean, he'd be an unrestricted free agent and go somewhere else.
He can.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they like to stay where they are.
That's true.
Because, I mean,
heck, you may end up getting 9 years.
I mean, who knows? Exactly. Yeah, I forget about that, too. There's all kinds of.
I mean, NBA trades aren't really made, some of them are to better yourselves, but you're getting rid of some dead weight you're going to owe a lot of money to. Yeah. They don't look at it like in the old days, we trade for Dave Cowens and he's going to take us to the promised land.
Right.
We're giving up 2 picks or something. It don't work like that.
It doesn't.
It's all about money and contracts.
Well, that doesn't do the fans very much. For them, it's all about, us watching whatever they put on the floor and love it or leave it. That's the way it seems.
In a way, I think you probably, like I said, you got rid of Garrett Temple.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing nothing. That's okay, but you got Avery Bradley now. Okay? You've got.
Who did Avery play for before?
The Celtics.
Yeah,
he was in that playoff run, had a great series. Career average, probably about 12 points a game. So
I'd like to have
athletic and guard people. I mean, he does a lot of good stuff.
Was it Bradley Beal or Bill? Who was at the place with Wall over there at Washington? What's his Beal? What's his, man, I'd like to have him. I wish we could have gotten him.
John Wall and Bradley Beal.
Yeah, Bradley Beal could shoot it. But like I said, maybe this is going to be. This is kind of exciting, so I guess it all starts.
It is exciting because you're going to, like I said, you're going to see the new Grizzlies. So, I mean, you made some moves and you got rid of some dead weight, and you lost a great player, and maybe some of these guys can step up. At least you got cap room now. Now Chandler Parsons, he did not get traded today. There was rumors he was going to go to the Houston Rockets, and that did not happen.
Well, like I said, he comes with a hefty price tag. I mean, he's like a Neiman Marcus kind of.
Well, he's out there cooling out in California.
Well, no, that he's been doing it for 3 years.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I don't know, but sometimes that happens. Go ahead, give me
that's right. 452-3094. Want to hear what you think about your Memphis Grizzlies, and did they do a good job or a bad job? We're looking for Yancey Porter here.
Big Yance.
It was a big day for Ole Miss in football yesterday, man.
I know. I can't wait to hear this information.
Yeah, I mean they closed out strong. So
they got a recruit from Tennessee.
Oh no, they could never do that, Snakeskin. You know that.
They flipped him.
You hear about
that? Pretty good. Yeah. Mac, pass rusher, really good player.
And Ole Miss got him.
Yeah, he flipped from. He had been recruited. He had been committed to Tennessee for roughly 10 months, and last day he.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happened to George Pickens.
Yeah,
but he's going to Auburn. It was Auburn in the last 500 days. He goes to the table, pulls out the Georgia Bulldog hat. He's a 5-star wide receiver.
It's happening a lot.
So we leave Justin Fields. He leaves, but the kid says, "I don't care. I'm going to stay there because this kid Jake Fromm can throw that ball.
Fromm can throw the ball.
He's a good quarterback, but." It's better to have your cup runneth over than the other way around. And it's tough on them, but they can make a decision. But if they can go and show a little bit of sport, some of their wares, like you said, in the first 4 games and then bail out, they can redshirt if they want to, depending on the situation with the regular quarterback. Otherwise, then they end up just doing exactly what Justin Fields did and some of the others scored, and they're just able to move on and take their wares somewhere else and do well. Where did he go? Well, I can't remember where he said he was.
Justin
Fields.
I think it was to Ohio State.
That's right. That's right. Because Murray, whatever his name, he's went on going into the pros. They need a spot for him. A good quarterback, and he's sort of
I
like
seen something the other day that the Denver Broncos or someone were trying to trade up to get him. I don't know if I'd take Murray. I don't think he's really great NFL player.
No, we were talking the other day about great small players.
I mean, think about it. Bill, he was at A&M and didn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah. And the guy that came in behind Manziel looked good for a while. I mean, he looked really good. And then he left, or he just... Yeah, you need someone who's consistent.
That's what got the guy fired there. Because he kept... I mean, they had another kid they recruited, and his name escapes me. He was like a 5-star quarterback, ended up transferring to Houston, got benched at the end of the year and was in the NFL, played for the Carolina Panthers, and threw for like 400 yards the last game.
Oh, my word.
I can see his face. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah. I usually know their names, but can't remember their face.
Actually, there's a lot of guys out that you thought would make the team. So.
Yeah. See, you don't stay with me because I throw some humor out once in a while on this show.
Oh,
no, you missed it. See, there's my buddy over here behind the glass. He looks at me. He starts laughing. See, he's my best.
Oh, it's just an intense day for the city, though, in my opinion.
It is.
I mean, you think about it. I mean, basically, you got one of the cornerstones of your basketball franchise, a guy that's been here. Probably, if he's not, their all-time leading scorer and rebounder. And, you know, he's been a lot to the city. And today, he's gone.
Well, you know, they're going to come back and they're going to come back and promote him, just like they did Zebo and the others. He's going to have his number retired up in the rafters. I just know it.
He needs to.
Oh, yeah. But this all happens during. There was a guy today, I can't remember what team, but while he's playing, he's traded. He's on the court playing basketball. He goes back to the bench and they said, "Oh, you don't play for us anymore." Now, that's cold.
It is, but that's the way it works.
When
you're making $20 million, Bill, it ain't that cold.
No, but I'm just saying to the fans and everybody else around, it doesn't mean anything. They do, but they don't. But yeah, they got to do something here. They got to get the fans back in the. They got to win some games. We've got to see something different. We kept hoping and hanging on to hope because of the, you know, the longevity of having, but they keep dropping off. We lost 2 from last year, the year before. I think this is a good move. I think Mark needs to go. He could play and help somebody else, and we need to just accept the fact and keep our mentor here, which we did. I thought he was gone too, and I thought to myself, where's the experienced guy? Who's going to lead?
But you got to grip the Grizzlies on them. They weren't just going to take nothing for him.
Right.
You needed draft choices, and you need a lot of
stuff.
stuff.
He's got a lot of money on his ledger too.
That's true. But I think he stays unless they trade him before pre-draft. So you got that going on. Hey, Snakeskin, can you read us some of the trades that happened today? I know it's just boo-koodles of them.
Yeah, I'm looking them up here. My phone's about dead, so I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to, you know, before the show starts, you got to make sure your phone is alive.
I don't have my charger.
Oh, why not?
Man, I wish I brought.
See, I would never buy a Dodge anyway.
I had a doctor's appointment this morning.
Oh yeah, you're too young to have a doctor's appointment. That's my excuse. Mine's legitimate though. That's for sure.
What about your man Kwanzaa returning to Tennessee?
What's he doing? What is that about?
He's the coach of Missouri, Bill, and they played Tennessee. You know,
oh, okay. I thought you said he was coming back. Then what do you mean? Is an assistant?
Well, no, they kind of hired him there. Now it's pretty cool.
Well, it is cool. Does everything have to be negative? My goodness. I mean, Jason Whitlock put some overtime on LeBron.
But I'm going to tell you what's negative right here.
Jason Whitlock, guys.
You really want to get into college basketball.
I will in just a second, but Jason Whitlock is a writer, and he's on this show, one of these things. But I mean, he goes after people, you know, where we just look at it as a white elephant in the room. We don't pay any attention to it. We just know it's there. No one wants to talk about it. But he will. He'll bring it up. So, anyway, go ahead.
I tell you who needs to be worried is Bryce Drew. 0-9 in the Southeastern Conference. 9-13 overall. Vanderbilt, who fancied themselves as a basketball school, Bill.
Yes, I know. Absolutely.
They fancied themselves as a basketball school. You know, they kind of ran Kevin Stallings off because he got stale there. But you bring the young whippersnapper in, and Bryce Drew, and a lot of people, I'm sure, angry what's going on up there, being 0-9. I don't know where they're getting a win from, because you look at this weekend, they play their Alabama's at Vanderbilt. That may be a chance for them to win, because Alabama does not play very well on the road. So,
and every time you play at Vanderbilt, every time you play at Vanderbilt, you should have an advantage.
I don't know if you remember his first year he got there. He had Luke Cornett and those guys like that. Got him in the NCAA tournament. They were like 19-13. And since then, they've gone downhill. And I know he had the top player in the country. He needs to come down there as an assistant or something like that. But
yeah,
they are in deep doo-doo right now, Bill, because, I mean, it's just not going real well up there. And Vanderbilt, usually, I mean, they give football coaches like 4 losing seasons before they fired him. But mark my word, he's getting the "you better get it together" talk, because there's a new AD coming in there and a lot of stuff going on.
When do they play Ole Miss?
They've already played Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat them at home. Nope. Ole Miss won.
At
Vanderbilt.
They'd have won that one. That'd have been like a little, take you back to when he hit that shot against Ole Miss in the tournament. See, so that way he would have been.
Well, he was thinking that, but Ole Miss hit shots on him.
I know. I'm just saying that might have saved him this season at least. But no, now he didn't have that.
Yep.
To fall back on. A couple of important guys who died at the same age. Frank Robinson, the first, most valuable player in both leagues, the National League and the American League. What a baseball player he was. Naturally, he's one of the top in the Hall of Fame. But he was the first black manager in the
major leagues.
I try to use these acronyms. I get everybody's mixed up. So thanks for saying that.
I'm always here to help you.
You always. That's true. And the other one is George Klein. We lost the jeeker in your speaker, Do
you know when we first got started in radio, I did a show with Shane Jernigan and Jeff would take Fridays off.
Yeah.
So we were his guys on Friday show. And George was in there with us. And the first year we were there, the first show we ever did, was like 1988 or 89, and George was our guy. And we had Al Locasell on, who was with the Oakland Raiders, kind of an assistant to Al Davis. And we had him on there, and we were doing a piece on it, and I had a tape recorder back then, this big old, and I pushed it, and it stopped.
Uh-oh.
And George BS'd our way out of that until the thing was done. But he's a very nice guy. He really helped us a lot. And, as I'm sad to see him pass, because every time you see him, he's always so gracious to you and all that. So.
We had some functions together when he did a lot of charity, a lot of events where, he raised money for Le Bonheur and for St. Jude and things like that. But he was so consistent, and he didn't take advantage of Elvis. But if it wasn't for him, after Elvis died and through the promotions and everything, it was good for both of them. It was good for, of course, Elvis's legacy as it grew and continues to grow.
Hey guys, we got the one and only Yancey Porter on the line.
Oh, is he on already?
Right.
I hadn't talked to him in so long, I just forgot.
It's because you've been sick, Bill.
Oh, that's what it was. I can't remember either. I'm just kidding. Yancey! Oh, it's so good to hear from you.
George, I can't remember either. I tell you what, 22 signing days in now. I'm getting old for all these signing days, but we got through it yesterday.
I know you're excited about it. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. By the way, everybody, this report Ole Miss Report is brought to you by Jimmy McElroy and Associates, and so with that, I want to acquiesce to my buddy Gordon and of course you, Yancey, and y'all get it rocking and rolling for us.
Well, I'll tell you, there was Redemption Wednesday yesterday for the Ole Miss Rebels. As they basically had a big haul and some really guys that other people wanted that they thought that they may or may not get. And I think you pretty much called it OT, Yancey. Only one that we lost was Young and Gordon. And at the end, I don't think Ole Miss really wanted him anyway.
Well, Byron Young was definitely someone that Ole Miss wanted in the worst way. That was really the only guy on the last 7 guys that they were trying to sign. There were 25 signees in December. They were trying to get 7 yesterday. They went 6 for 7.
That's pretty good.
Especially when considering that all 6 of the guys were 4 or 5-star prospects by various sites. So it was a critical finish for Ole Miss for this 2019 class. After December, they lost some guys there at the end that they were hoping to sign, and they really needed to finish like they did yesterday to move the program forward.
Tell me this. I mean, you look, Lakia Henry, it was all over the place. He was 90% Arkansas. Last minute, Ole Miss flips him. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, things looked good for Lakia all the way until this past Sunday, when he took a pit stop back from his Texas visit, stopped by Arkansas. And that's what really started a lot of anxiety, thinking that he was going to head to Arkansas. As he said, he had not visited Arkansas since November when he took his official visit there. And he didn't get a lot of time to spend with the coaches because it was a football game weekend. And that's why a lot of colleges, including Ole Miss, don't like bringing in official visitors during football game weekends, because you just don't get to spend much time with the prospects. But anyway, he decided to come to Ole Miss yesterday, and as we know, in this 3-4 system, they're going to need 2 bell cows there in the middle linebacker. And you really like where they stand now with Tanogo and Lakia Henry, 2 guys that are very capable of manning those middle spots in that 3-4 system.
They got some defensive linemen, Cox and I'm trying to think.
Brandon Mack.
Even though there were 3 stars, there's a lot of people said that that they should have been rated higher, and they actually didn't take Gordon and took those guys instead of him. So in other words, they must be a heck of a lot better than they thought he was.
Well, the Gordon was not an ability issue. He has some off-the-field issues that kind of slowed his recruitment down at the end. Gordon is very capable on the field. I'm surprised somebody didn't take him. Would not still be.
I think he went to Auburn at the end of the day.
Did he end up?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's this Mack. They needed a pass rusher, and that's what they think Mack would be. Somebody to come off the edge in that 3-4 system, and they needed that big, 6'5", 330-pound run-stopping body at nose guard. You got to have one of those, right there in the middle at that nose guard spot in a 3-4 system there. So, they really hit on both needs right there. They would have liked to add Young in there with them. Like I said, he was probably, I thought, the best player in the state of Mississippi overall.
They got Jared Neal. Of all those guys, they took 31. Who do you think will come in and could play immediately? I know they got some guys that are midterm enrollees.
That's another thing, though.
Speaking of Ely, you hear all this baseball stuff, and Plumlee as well. And what do you think he's going to do?
Does that look okay? How do I get on? I need to use the camera a little bit.
And football, you can just make so much more money than
You know, you look at Plumlee and all my guys at Florida State, oh, we're getting. Well, at the end of the day, they got shut out. And, I mean, their starting quarterback quit. They really have nobody on campus but one other guy. But Ole Miss did a great job getting him. And looking at it, you would think that, I mean, he was kind of Rich Rod's recruit, not Tisdale. So, you know, even though Tisdale's probably looking good, but, I mean, Plumlee is, like you said, he's just a great athlete. I understand that he can run that system. I haven't seen a lot of film of him throwing the ball and stuff, but tell me about him a little bit.
I don't know, but if he wants to play quarterback, he's going to need to take 20, 25 pounds to take that. I wouldn't be surprised. But he could strip around that center. Get him in the outfield next year, as you know, you got at least two Ryan Olenek and Thomas Dillard that plays left and center field that are lead for the draft after this year in the baseball draft. So they would fit in perfectly in the outfield next year in the 2020 season for them.
All right, last two questions. A, they got 2 scholarships left. You're hearing all these rumors about transfers. And that's what I believe you told me, two scholarships.
They got one. They signed 31. They had room for 32, and I look for them to find probably a grad transfer there at defensive tackle, so it will open back up in December, and they can sign one extra one in December and have 26 to sign next year.
So, I mean, since the season ended, have they had many players? You know, you always have attrition at the end. Of course, you're hearing Eric Sweeney's gone. Some other people. I don't know who's left or, quit.
Sweeney's the only one that's put himself in the portal. You know, what happens after spring practice is somebody's happy they haven't moved to the starting role, and then at the end of the spring they decide to put it in the portal. We'll see. But everybody's enrolled. Everybody's in school. I believe even Sweeney's in school, and I don't think he transfers until the end of May. You got to think he's trying to graduate first, so he's immediately eligible. I'm not sure, but I think he's even enrolled. But I think Sweeney is the only one in the portal right now.
All right, last question. What happened to Kermit last night? I heard he was sick.
He just said, you know, he felt kind of faintish feeling, and so he just kind of had to catch himself for a couple minutes, and then he felt a little bit better, and he went back out there. Now, I have not heard how he's feeling since then. We did text back and forth this morning, but obviously we'll see going forward. I felt like that many times myself. I would feel kind of faintish too if I lost a 13-point lead against A&M and only had a 1-point lead and rolling on a 4-game losing streak, losing the last 5 out of 6. So I'm sure it all kind of caught up to him.
Well, good stuff. It's a big win for the Rebels last night, even though Texas A&M is 1-8, or they're now 1-9, I believe. 1-8, yeah. We appreciate you always being on our show.
Always.
Tell us how to get the Ole Miss spirit.
That's easy. Just go to omspirit.com.
And what does this offer? Let me ask Yancey this question. What does this offer as far as, because we really want this Ole Miss spirit to rock and roll here. What can they look forward to online?
Well, I mean, since we merged with 24/7 Sports, there are 4 of us now that are working around the clock, and you're going to get about a dozen articles a day.
Okay.
A mixture of recruiting to football to baseball to basketball to softball to whatever. I mean, it is the most extensive coverage of Ole Miss sports you could possibly imagine. It's probably too much.
Yeah, well, it's their choice how much they want to, how much time they want to spend on each story. But let me ask you this. Do you start off with kind of like the old USA Today when it was just a brief, sort of like an appetizer, but they can get more information with each story, or is everything short like that?
No, we don't have just little short stories. The newspapers, unfortunately, their budgets are becoming less and less, so they have less manpower. But we have pretty extensive stories.
Good.
And then, we have tidbits in recruiting that roll all day, every day, by the hour. Any new tidbits that come in recruiting, I put up throughout the day. That's 24/7 all year long. So it's you get a lot of bang for your buck. I'll say that.
That's great. Oh, that's great. Well, listen, we really appreciate you coming on and wanting to keep us up to speed on what's going on with Ole Miss. And thank you. You're a tremendous guy. I don't care what they say about you. I really, yeah, I think you're the man. Smile for me, Gordon. The sense of humor.
I was in my car wreck, Bill, and I was
the man. That's right. I remember
all that stuff. So I'm not as peppy as I used to be.
Well, I'm not sick anymore.
A lot of people like it that I'm calmed down since I take those things, but
cannot do anything but be peppy.
That's
all right.
That's my knee.
All right. Well, again, Yancey, thank you, and have a great weekend. We look forward to talking with you next week here on the Ole Miss Report, brought to you by Jimmy McElroy and his associates. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. I hope everybody has a blessed day.
Thank you. All right. Our number is, of course, 901-452. So we've got all our guests today. We're going to be missing one.
We're missing one. The Rapid Rival will join us at 4:30. So we're wide open here.
Okay.
So all those people that have listened to us and talked pro basketball,
right.
I think Snakeskin's going to read some trades off for us here in a second. And what the Grizzlies did today, are they better? Are they worse? Did they upset you by trading Mark Gasol? Just let us know. Conley stays. I don't believe in my heart that they really were going to deal Conley, because they made it so outrageous.
Lee was going to put these guys together for the Hornets, you remember?
That's right. And they took none of those deals without a big draft choice. And
who do you think came up with that idea? I'm just curious. You think it was it?
Yeah, they had to get younger. And probably the owners getting on to him. And, they needed to get younger.
Yeah.
I mean,
again,
Conley is kind of a superstar, man. I mean, he's the real deal.
Is he going to the All-Star game?
No, he should be, but he's not.
He should. I don't know why they don't send him there. I mean, I think
he has to be
Mark has
voted
been 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because people don't recognize the Grizzlies as being
Even when they've won big,
I know, that's my point. I mean, it really should, but everything's in and around, you know, the Clippers, your big names and stuff like that. So anyway, that music means you're going to take us to break here, but don't go anywhere, everybody. We got other things we want to talk about. We want you to be a part of the show. The number 452-3094 gets you in, along with Gordon Ford. I am Bill Moore. This is Sports Call. We're going to have to play a sport
To be a sport.
be a sport.
It's nice. Your Mercedes sound. What is that?
No big roast might be your last resort. It can help you make a fresh start and move forward with your life. The attorneys at McElroy & Associates help clients in Tennessee and Mississippi recover from financial troubles, prevent foreclosures, and stop those horrible repossessions and those horrible phone calls. Oh, my word. Call them right now at 888-871-3678. Or you can complete a form online. It'll only take a moment because your first consultation is free, and it's www.jmcElroy.com. Get in touch with Jimmy today and his staff. He has 2 locations right here in Memphis, one on South Mendenhall and the other one downtown on Jefferson Avenue. Give him a call. I'm telling you, he says it, and it's true. Bad things happen to good people, but you know what? He can put the toothpaste back in the tube for you. He can work miracles. He has a record that is above reproach. Give Jimmy McElroy and his staff a call today. That number again is 888-871-3678. Jimmy McElroy Attorneys.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. What if I could tell you, or for that matter, show you how you could get a Class 4 impact-resistant shingle and make money by doing it? No, it's not free, but over time, with the money you can save on maintenance, discounted insurance premiums, and deductibles that you won't have to pay, you can make money upgrading to the best shingle possible. I have spoken with many insurance agents in an attempt to learn how to provide their insured with the best of the best while saving the homeowner as much money as possible. I know it's hard to believe, but I am a contractor who is as concerned about the quality of your project as I am about my profit. The more I can do for you, the better chance I will get a referral. The happier you are, the more likely your insurance company will want to work with me in the future. So for the best of the best at the best price possible, call Fiveash Roofing. We're fair, we're honest, and we're ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I love coming here to Sweetgrass for brunch.
This is the best brunch in Midtown, easily.
Everything on the menu is delicious.
And it seems we always see people we know.
Yeah, every time we're here when Sweetgrass opens on the weekends at 11, there's somebody we've talked to.
That's just the way Sweetgrass works.
Hey, that reminds me, how about we come here for Valentine's Day? I know it sounds hokey.
Not at all. I was assuming we'd spend Valentine's together, and I was assuming it would be here at Sweetgrass.
I didn't want to make any assumptions.
I think at this point, where you and me and Sweetgrass are concerned, you can safely make assumptions.
Have you been to Building Materials on Jackson for your home projects lately? They have the materials, service, and deep discounts every day. BMJ has finished oak picture frame cabinets and an unfinished maple and birch. Need countertops, kitchen cabinets, and doors? Go to Building Materials on Jackson. They have thousands of windows in stock, along with one-piece tub and shower units. With hardware, BMJ has been serving the Mid-South for 50 years. Why shop anywhere else? Save 10 to 50% every day. See Terry, Patrick, or Adam for great service and advice. Building Materials, 3820 Jackson Avenue. Call 901-388-4919.
Sleep Cheap has queen-size mattress starting at $99. That's right, only $99. Huge name brand Super Pillow top sets for $399. Regular price $599. Sleep Cheap will pay the sales tax on all purchases. Same-day delivery, no credit check. Sleep Cheap can get anyone approved. Get it today. Sleep on it tonight. Get to one of Sleep Cheap stores today. Goodman Road in Horn Lake, Winchester Road in Memphis, and in West Memphis at North Missouri Street.
I'm Michael Chang. You're listening to Sports Call with Bill, where you don't have to play a sport to be a sport.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
All right, we're back here on Sports Call. We're excited to be out here in this beautiful rain. It's going to be turning cold tonight.
No, 26 degrees.
That's
Bill.
cold, man.
Better get that electric blanket out.
By the way, that throw blanket you got me for Christmas, thank
Yes.
you very much. I'm going to tell you, I've used
Working
that
for
thing.
you, Bill, every day.
Well, I don't know that you meant to, but boy, it was the perfect gift for when I was sick. I mean, that thing was nice. I'm serious. So thank you again. I meant to tell you that. So
You're welcome. I appreciate that.
you guys who haven't had the flu, I mean, I happen to have it. What do you call it? A Memphis crud? I don't know what it was, but I'll tell you what, it knocked me for a loop.
And those blankets, those fleece blankets are awesome, aren't
Yeah,
they, Bill?
I mean, they're nice. I mean, what he did was, yeah. Sometimes you say, well, what he did with it's perfect.
Yeah. I've got one with a giant power T on it. It's orange and shiny.
Oh, and then that make you sick. How do you get well when you got that? Huh? Think about that. All right. All right, so some of the trades that Gordon's been asking about here, I've got some right here I'd like to share with you and just see what you think and how you think it's going to help the other team. I mean, are they just, like you said, is it about the money or is it about helping the team?
I give them to me.
All right, here's one. Like, for instance, remember the kid who was the #1 pick, and all of a sudden he forgot how to play basketball because
Markelle Fultz.
That's right. Well, he's now playing for the Magic. So. And the Philadelphia Sixers gets Jonathan Simmons, a first-round pick via, or via, I should say, OKC, and a second-round pick. And you know, the trade grades, you know, what's next for Markelle Fultz with the Magic? So naturally, that
new
is
start for
yeah. And that was a weird situation, just a weird situation. Okay, Toronto Raptors, they get Marc Gasol, and the Grizzlies gets, like you said earlier, Jonas Van de Clifford, and then DeLon Wright and C.J. Miles. And like you said, if we're going to be here in 2024, they get a second-round pick. A second-round pick.
I don't get that, but you know, there you go.
Seems like
they at least got a pick. That's what they were striving to do.
I won't go into a lot of dialogue, but anyway, the Bucks gets Nikola Muratek, and the Pelicans get Jason Smith, Stanley Johnson, Denver's 2019 second-round pick, and Washington's 2020 and 2021.
To the Los Angeles Lakers for forward Michael Beasley and center Ivica Zubac.
He's not a bad player.
And league sources, let's see, Muscula, who was traded from Philadelphia to the Clippers on Wednesday as part of a deal that sent Tobias Harris to the Sixers. He's averaging over 7 points and 4 rebounds a game this season.
And you know, talking about, here's a player we had, and he did good. James Ennis. James Ennis, who's with the Grizzlies, was it last year, a couple of years ago?
Mm-hmm.
We had him, and I guess he goes to the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm sorry, they get him from the Houston Rockets for future second-round swap picks and all that particular NBA vernacular. I don't understand sometimes what they mean by that. But the Warriors send Marquis Morris to the Pelicans for Wesley Johnson. And it continues on. I mean, you got Dallas get Zach Randolph, so he's obviously...
He's going there to get waived.
Yeah.
You think so?
And
that's what they do. They're clearing the cap room, yeah.
Yeah. Sacramento, the Kings get Harrison Barnes. He was another good player for the Warriors, but just as soon as you leave what made you kind of famous, you just can't bring the same game anymore.
Look at Tony Allen. When he left, he went to the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Did nothing. I mean, I think he's out of the league now. And I think it was good for the Grizzlies to get rid of him at that point. I mean, he did a lot for the team, but realistically, they needed better players than him because
the Kings also sent Schulpert to the Rockets in a three-team deal, and Wade Baldwin. Some of these names, you know, we had them in our house for a long time, but Edmund Schulpert, Nick Satakis, and let's see, Wade Baldwin. And so the Cleveland Cavaliers get Brandon Knight, Marquise Chris, and the 2019 lottery protected first-round pick. Sacramento Kings gets Alec Burks, and a second-round pick. You got some more up there, Snakeskin? I was just trying to help you out here. I saw some of these that, with some decent names, I guess. When I say decent, most people know who they are. At least they play enough with the team.
There's a lot of movement today, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, they had to, though. There was no choice. This was the last day, 7th of February.
Yeah, would you get down to the Knicks?
Well, I don't think so. I don't know what order. It doesn't look like these are in alphabetical order. So
they traded Porzingis.
Yeah.
Well, they did? Okay, I was going to ask about him. Man, he was good.
Yeah.
The Knicks cut Cantor, an expiring contract.
They got rid of him?
It seems, yeah, Knicks to release center Enes Cantor.
The Grizzlies need to pick him up like ASAP.
Yeah, that's precisely what I was thinking. League source. Well, anyways, the Knicks had talked to teams about potential trades for the past several weeks, but Cantor's $18.6 million expiring contract proved too difficult to move.
I didn't know that. That's
26 and has appeared in just 3 of the Knicks' past 12 games.
I mean, he abuses the Grizzlies when he plays against them.
What about Ryan Anderson? You know, the Miami Heat gets him from Phoenix, and
can shoot it.
Good shooter, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. But
he's got to set his speed. Yeah, he played at Houston, and at the end of the year, I mean, he was the starter until the playoffs got there, and he got sprained ankle, didn't play him at all.
Oh, okay, it was a sprained ankle.
Played in California, 6'10". I mean, he's a formidable player.
I thought so too. So he was the same one. I tell you, they move around so quickly. I thought he was on this team. So no, we got rid of him, but it is the same guy. Yeah, thanks.
All right, 452-3094. Our numbers here, Bill.
Sure. So
we don't have a 4 o'clock guest today, so our phone lines are open till 4:30 till Rapid Rob comes on, and want to hear what y'all think about the Grizzlies trade or anything else for that matter. But
Gordon, can you run those trades down again from the Grizzlies?
The trade for the Grizzlies today were the Grizzlies get Jonas Valanciunas. They get Avery Bradley, who they traded with JaMychal Green and Garrett Temple. They did that. The Grizzlies also get DeLon Wright, C.J. Miles from the Raptors for Pau Gasol. And then Shelvin Mack was traded to the Atlanta Hawks, where he had played at one time, for Tyler Dorsey, a 6'5" guard out of Oregon, second-round pick. I think he's like a second-year player.
Wow. Okay. So we don't. Marc Gasol's gone.
Marc Gasol is gone.
That's why they put the trash can in front of his locker.
You hear about that? Took his number off the locker.
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah,
I guess they have to do it at some point.
I know, but
that guy gave his whole life to this city, man, and I just don't like it.
I just thought it was a bad way to do it. Hey, the Blazers acquired Rodney Hood. You remember Rodney Hood from
player
from the Cavs? Right. We could have had him before we lost Jordan Adams. You know, we picked him up and never played him at all. I mean, this guy was just nothing, and we had an opportunity to get him because he was picked after we chose, Adams. So obviously he's a good player. He was the only one.
There.
Yeah, he's the only one that
played
I know.
at Duke, started his career at Mississippi
That's right.
State. Yeah,
that's right. So, but anyway, I think Wade Baldwin, the 4th, will be there. Yeah, with Nick Stakakis and some of these other round picks, but I guess it's a good
Wade Baldwin sort of had a checkerboard career, hadn't he? I mean, first round pick of the Grizzlies, didn't pan out, went to Portland, played decent there.
Played better in the summer league.
Yeah, played great in the summer league, but I mean, he jacked it every time. The teammates didn't like him, and now all of a sudden, who'd you say he's with, Bill?
Now he's got Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yes.
That seems like a good place for him.
Yeah, now that they're not a threat, right?
Yeah.
So, the Knicks trade Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks for Dennis Smith. Tell us who Dennis Smith is.
Dennis Smith is a shooting guard, explosive player out of North Carolina State. one of their better players. I don't understand, but you're getting Porzingis. You've got to do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
Well,
going
they got
to
him. They got DeAndre Jordan. They also
DeAndre Jordan, who's a center who'll fill a need for the Knicks, and they just waived Enos Kanter. Wesley Matthews, a veteran, played at Marquette, 6'5", undrafted, had a real good career at Portland.
Yep, he sure did. Ian is who's the other guy that they Matthew? No, that's who I just said. There was another player over there, not their best player, Leonard. You know who I'm talking about. Liner.
Yeah.
Anyway. But and they also get 2 future first-round picks. So, yeah, I started to say that's pretty cheap as far as getting Porzingis, the Dallas team. So it looks like
Porzingis is a superstar.
He sure is. I mean, he is. So, but anyway, that's some of the trades. I don't know if there's anything left hanging that they haven't closed on yet. I think maybe if you sign it before, but don't maybe bring it up.
Think about him with Luka Doncic. I mean that.
Yeah.
I mean that's gonna be an exciting team, man. They're gonna be filling it up there.
We're talking about European team now. I don't know. Okay, so all right. Well, there we have it as far as that goes. What about coaching changes? Anything that blows the wind up your skirt? Nothing. All right. Well, I can't wait to see.
Bickerstaff is still here, so he's got a new team. We'll see how he handles it. I mean, they play tonight. It's gonna be very interesting to watch that game. No Gasol. I mean, you basically sent half your team away.
Well, let me ask you this. Go ahead. Keep that.
Okay. They've gotten rid of JaMychal Green.
Right.
And
he's a good player. I hate losing.
Well, his contract's up. He is a good player. Okay. You've gotten rid of Marc Gasol. You've gotten rid of Shelvin Mack. So what? That's 4 key players for the Grizzlies. So in essence, they get, like you said, Tyler Dorsey. I don't think his contract's guaranteed, so they can waive him and get somebody else. They get they get rid of Shelvin Mack.
Why don't you share that the intricacies of
all right.
what
Here's your
means.
new Grizzlies roster. Okay, you have Jonas Valanciunas, Kunis, or however you say his name. I think I pronounced a little bit better than you did. Joakim Noah is your backup
You'll
center.
never know.
Jaren Jackson Jr. as your power forward. Ivan Rabb, who they really like coming on, is your backup power forward. And Bruno Caboclo, who they signed him for the rest of the year. They have Kyle Anderson, C.J. Miles, and they list Chandler Parsons on here and Julian Washburn, who he is on a 10-day contract. Will they bring Chandler back? I don't know. Your shooting guards are Justin Holiday, Avery Bradley, and Javon Carter. I see Javon Carter playing more point than he does. And Yuta Watanabe, who is the Japanese player, which you really like him, I know, Bill.
I like Jeremy
Mike Conley is still
play,
your point guard. DeLon Wright, who's a good player, who they just picked up, and Tyler Dorsey out of Oregon. So, you got some 10-day people. There's some people who could get cut, and just, and I'll tell you right now, if I was doing something, I would go out and pick up a big man. So.
What about the kid that kind of had some trouble? What's his name? Seppi, not Seppi, for our team. The black hair, good player, weird shooter.
Caspi, he's hurt. He's had knee surgery, so he's not on here. He's probably out for the year.
We got Sam on the line, guys.
All right, Sam, I'm ready, man.
Hello, Sam. Welcome.
Hey,
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
What's up, man? Hi, guys. Hey, Gordon, do you guys think that we have a hard time trading Mike Conley because he's making so much money?
I think that had something to do with it, but let's put it point blank. Sam, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
And Gasol, I don't know if you've watched some of the games lately. He's getting his stuff smacked religiously by these younger, quicker teams. And Conley can still play. What do you have the other night? Like 28 points or something?
Yeah.
And they won. And tell you what, a lot of people did not bring up after that game, that you had played Jaren Jackson, Joakim Noah, Ivan Rabb, Holiday. I can't remember if Anderson was out there or not. I mean, and Conley, and then you brought this Julian Washburn off the bench and this Bruno Caboclo, and you played a lot better with that fast, quick team than you did with the plotting center. And maybe that's, you know, they've talked grit and grind. You really don't have to, you know, your grit and grind's not working right now. But when they pushed it up the floor and the guys were jacking it like, you know, the old Lyle Marymount, it seemed like they did well. So if you're asking me about Mike Conley, I think they wanted to pick for him. They were not going to give him away because he could come back to haunt them.
Right.
I don't know if Gasol does. I think Gasol's gotten a little bit older. But in essence, you got a 26-year-old player, not the greatest player, but he is a banger and a rebounder, and you put him beside Jaren Jackson when you play that way now. And Gasol was taking up space when Jaren was trying to manipulate, and I guess that they put their future on him. And by getting rid of Gasol, you still have scoring power there. Now, some of these other guys that they picked up, and they still have Chandler Parsons listed on the roster as he's still on the roster. And I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I think let's go over it. Going back to your question, I think they had a hard time because they wanted a lot for him. And deep down, I don't think they really wanted to give him away. What do you think, Sam?
No, I'm going. I thought they were going to trade him to Indiana because Indiana's
but they couldn't give him anything. They want something.
So they ain't going Oladipo. He got hurt.
Yeah, but Conley makes $26 million too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But let's look at this. I'm going to ask you this question, Sam, and I think Bill's signaling us for a break here, so I'm going to go real quick over this.
Okay.
All right. You got Garrett Temple, and in return, you got Avery Bradley. Is that a better player than you had, or a worse player?
Avery Bradley.
Remember what he did for the Celtics?
Yeah.
I mean, heck, the Grizzlies wanted him back then. He went to the Clippers.
Sure did, yeah.
So, who's better, him or Garrett Temple?
It's got to be Bradley.
Bradley by far.
Bradley.
Because of the other, attributes of his game.
You got Shelvin Mack, and you sent him for Tyler Dorsey. Probably Tyler's a little bit better, but DeLon Wright's right up there with Shelvin Mack. So you basically got 3 players for Gasol. All right?
Yes, I'm glad. I think the Warriors made a big mistake over the past 3 or 4 years trading away the #1 draft choice. We need draft choices to a team.
Oh, you no doubt about it. But I think that in a way you might have either be equal or got a little bit better.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Now, you tell me what you think.
I agree with you. Maybe just a little bit better.
That's right. Like I said, I would much rather. I mean, Garrett Temple. I mean, he's a veteran, a locker room guy, but he can't play. I mean, he's a shooter that can't shoot. How many times was he left wide open? He couldn't hit the shot.
Wide open, and he can't make a shot.
Avery Bradley, he gets up and down the floor. He guards you. He hits shots. I mean, he took the Celtics when they go to the conference championship when he was there. And then, he signs a free agent with the Clippers. But I like him and basically DeLon Wright a lot better than I like Shelvin Mack or Garrett Temple.
Good point, bud. Hey, Bill. See y'all next Thursday, man.
I appreciate it. Good to hear from you. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Sam. All right. Gang, we're going to take a break here at the top of the hour, but we look forward to having you coming back with us. And we've got other things to talk about, a lot of things going on. Our number is 452-3094. Anything else you want to go?
Yeah, you probably can get those Mark and Saul jerseys real cheap right now.
Probably can. All right. Dan on hold. All right, tell Dan it's a short break. Can't wait to talk to Dan. Thank you. We'll be right back. Well, I don't like this because these are in our face, so we can't.
This is Troy 5-Ash, owner of 5-Ash Roofing. I thought I'd take a minute literally to tell you why 5-Ash Roofing should be at least on the list of brands you should call if you're in need of roofing services. We have 20+ years of experience. We have the strongest and longest warranties in the business. We are the only professional professional installer in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. We provide personal service and attention to your specific needs and concerns. No pressure for myself or my staff to do anything before you're ready. I just spent 10 months working with a customer who was having trouble picking a color. I never once got upset, and I stayed patient. Now they have a brand new roof, and they love it. We offer the best price guarantees. We offer discounts to the first responders, anyone that works at CFUs or Lavonders. We have 12 months payments cash. We are here for you in any way possible. We want your business, and we're grateful when we earn it, and we don't mind earning. 5H Roofing, 367-0050, or MemphisRoofers.com. 5H Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
You know what I hate about February? It's cold and dark and miserable. I'm talking about February, not you. I hate that it's only 28 days long. That means if I want to keep up my Central Barbecue consumption, I'm going to have to double up on some days. Your Central Barbecue consumption? Yes. I'm on a strict Central Barbecue diet of at least one visit to one of the 4 locations a day. Every day, like I said, it's a strict diet. I can have anything on the menu, and there's a lot of options. But I have something on Central Barbecue at least once a day. Well, you certainly are committed to Central Barbecue. Stupid February. What do you mean, cold, dark, and miserable? No doubt you've already been to 117 Prime in the center of downtown for dinner. But one thing you may not have thought about is having your luncheon or other event at Prime. There's no better atmosphere than 117 Prime, and it's perfect for a great meal, and they have the space for private events of just about any size. Don't make your clients or vendors feel like you didn't put any thought into where you're having your private function. Make them think you put a lot of thought into the best restaurant in downtown Memphis, 117 Prime. And coming soon, a new addition to the downtown landscape, 3rd and Court. When you come to next door in the heart of Cooper Young, there are a few things you can rely on. The most friendly atmosphere you'll find in town, the best bar food you'll find anywhere, the new friends you didn't even know you were looking for, and every game you could possibly want to see on one of the high-def TVs everywhere you go. Catch the Grizzlies games, the Tigers games, the bowl games, the NFL playoffs, and hey, if that's what you're absolutely dying to see, they can probably scare up that curling match you want to watch on one of the TVs. It's next door, Memphis' great neighborhood bar in the heart of Cooper Young. Everybody in Memphis is talking about Sunrise and Jefferson, the best, fast, fresh breakfast you can get anywhere in town. But some people haven't heard yet that Sunrise also has fantastic lunches. Sunrise on Jefferson, just to the Victorian Village, is surprisingly close to just about anywhere from the medical center to downtown.
Hey, what was the average?
And the lunches are just as quick and fresh as breakfast. Everyone at Sunrise is devoted to making your meal the best it can possibly be. So don't just think breakfast when you think Sunrise. Think lunch too. And coming soon, a new addition to downtown, 3rd and Court.
Hello, this is Michael, playmaker of wide receiver from the Dallas Cowboys. And when I'm in Memphis, I listen to sports called I'm in love with the girl that I'm talking about. I'm in love with the girl I can't live without. I'm in love. Picture bedtime. To be in love, be in love.
All right, we're back on Sports Calling.
Great Grand Funk song. You don't think Grand Funk does that, but they do.
What's that?
This is from Grand Funk.
Well, I know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Oh, I know. You thought it was Queen, but it's not. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm a kid.
I know, Bill.
I know. All right. Our number is 452-3094. We got Gordon Ford in the house here. We're talking about, what's going on all over the place. A lot of deadlines, which is today, February the 7th. And I think I got my good friend Dan on. Can't wait to talk to Danny. Danny, welcome to the show.
Hey, Gordon, Bill, how y'all doing?
Doing great.
I want to start off by letting everybody know that the great Frank Robinson passed away today.
Yeah, we heard that, yes.
Man, he was great.
He was good.
As a gentleman, coach, player, you name it, he was the best at it, I think. One of the best.
Yep. One of the most valuable player in both leagues. No one's ever done that
won
before.
Manager of the Year, first black manager.
Yep.
And you know what he had? I listened to an interview with him on the radio going on an out-of-town trip. I listened to it. And the reason he thinks that the young black youth isn't in baseball anymore, he said it doesn't have that bang play like basketball and football does. There's no slam dunk. That was the biggest problem, he thought. The reason they wasn't into it.
It was absolutely, it's slow. It doesn't have that. Yeah, that's what. Yep, you're exactly right.
And now I'll talk more Grizzlies and then trade if that's okay. But I'll tell you, if I'm New Orleans, I ain't trading Davis.
No.
Period.
Well, I think they can now.
I'd wait till next year's deadline, not play him, and let LeBron get as old as he wants to get.
But you know what, though?
You can't let players run the league like this.
He's going to take them to court. So, you know, he's going to take the Pelicans
Fine.
to court.
He can't do that. Look at all the money he's making.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
But still, they're taking it too. That's their
Hey, tell them to
culture
go fold
today.
towels. Those towels aren't going to fold themselves, Anthony. Get over and do that. Make your money.
That's
You're
right.
not going to earn it on the court.
Exactly.
That makes me mad. I mean, Magic Johnson thinks he can just walk around and pick who he wants and who he doesn't want. Him and LeBron James.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, if I'm Davis, they won last year. They won the first round of the playoffs without Cousins. Take it upon yourself and be a leader and win the damn thing by yourself. That to me would be more satisfying.
Exactly.
But you know something, Dan, you brought up a point. These players trying to run the league, they hadn't put a penny up towards the league. They haven't put a penny up for these franchises. They're, and then all of a sudden someone demanding a trade. If you went in there to your boss tomorrow and said, listen here, I'm not going to work anymore. I know you're paying me $20 million a year, but I'm not going to work anymore because you won't trade me because I want to be with LeBron. He'd look at you and throw you out. Get out, and he'd have your desk cleaned out by the time you walked out the door.
That's right.
In the real world, that doesn't happen. But you look at these guys, they don't have a penny towards this whole situation. And they can't just call up and say, I want to be traded one day to a certain team when, you got salary cap and all that's just like this all today. I mean, they had to work it out where the money went right because so either team wasn't in the hole. That's the way it works now. It ain't like 25 years ago where, hey, we need a power forward. We're going to trade so-and-so in a draft choice to get this guy. And that's the way it is. It ain't that way no more.
Gord, you know how this all started?
I have an idea, yeah.
Go ahead.
AAU, you're right.
All the players pick who they want to play with. They go play for a team even out of city, out of state.
That's right. Look,
maybe the 4 of the top 10 players, they get their own team together and pick who they want to play with.
Well, who's coming to
They kind of fades out high school basketball, really, the way they do it.
Hey, who's coming to Memphis next year under that same scenario?
Because of AAU. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wiseman. So, I mean,
and Jeffries and several other guys.
Yeah, they know each other. They play together and all that.
But it's not all AAU. What it is a guy can go to college for a year or go over to Europe for a year, and he can come in the NBA draft, and he doesn't know any better. I mean, he's always dictated what he's going to do. You can't do that. You got owners with millions of dollars. Tom Benson owned that team. His widow runs it now. I mean, Tom Benson was probably a multi-millionaire, billionaire. And, he owns the Saints and stuff. I mean, an owner like that or the family that runs it now, you just walk in and say, I need to go. That ain't going to happen, man.
No.
Especially when these guys have to put a freaking penny up for the team. They don't pay all the concession people and all that crap. It's just mind-boggling that people can do that.
Yeah, it's true. I don't understand if these kids don't realize how lucky they are just to be playing. I'd be happy, playing anywhere. Doesn't matter.
But another thing, too, Dan, is that you get tired of a guy and you pay him off $18 million, kind of like the Grizzlies are doing with Chandler Parsons. I don't think he's technically been paid off. I think he's out in Palm Springs, laying out by the pool, rehabbing, getting $22 million. But sometimes, like Enes Kanter, that guy's a good player. I think the Grizzlies should go pick him up right now. I mean, that guy would help them, but I don't know if they really want to win. But he would be a good player for the future. He abused the Grizzlies. Just abused them.
The one thing we lack on this team's rebounding. That's what he does. That's his specialty.
And this Valanciunas that's coming in here, he's a rebounder. I mean, he's a bagger. Yeah. He's not a very good athletically. He's a little clumsy, and, you can't run up and down the floor.
Yeah, he was a lottery pick. He just, I think he's just a true old-school center, and that kind of doesn't work in today's NBA.
But then again, he's 7'1", he's big, and he rebounds. But look at the way that they could use him. Okay, think about this.
That's an enforcer for you.
That's an enforcer. But you have Jaren Jackson, who basically, you said to yourself, this is our guy. He is the future of the Memphis Grizzlies. When Gasol was there, he faded out there and shot threes. You got to have one guy that's going to get down there and post up. Gasol did it some, but he was out there shooting threes. And then when he was down low, Jaren couldn't get down there and manipulate. I mean, This guy can play on the high post and feed him down low. Now, Gasol was a great passer, but I don't know about this guy. This guy is just a big man that's, as you say, a true center. I don't know if he's good enough. What was the last kid that went to Duke that was really good? That and he was like a forward.
Kenny Kennard.
No, I'm talking about just recently. Played on the national championship team.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, my mind just.
Ingram was a forward there.
Yeah.
And,
this guy went to the Orlando Magic, and he really hadn't panned out.
That happens to everybody who goes to Orlando. They're Gordon. That place eats up good lottery picks.
But Dan, overall, what do you think about the Grizzlies' move?
Well, it's a rebuild, so you got to, you know, and God knows I wish Chris Ross would go somewhere, but
you can't rebuild him.
No, you can't, and obviously we can't trade him. But it's a rebuild. It is what it is. I mean, the players we got, you couldn't expect much. I wish we could have got more picks, but now they really value. No, they really value the first round pick now in the NBA. It's a big deal because we couldn't get any of them, even for Mike.
I'm going to tell you right now, deep down, I don't really think they wanted to trade Mike. I think they put him out there and made the asking price so astronomical nobody would take it.
Yeah, and Carter's not going to be a starter for a long time if he ever is. So you got to have – that's where the NBA starts at the point guard. And, you know, and I guess you've got to give up that Boston pick this year, and hopefully we're so bad next year that we get somebody high in the top 4 or 5 that you can put with Jackson. And that Conley, that's 3, and you got Anderson, so that's 4. It's going to take a little while. It's going to be 3 or 4 years before we skip the playoffs, I think.
You can get back to the playoffs quick. I'm telling you right now, go get Enos Kanter. He abused the Grizzlies. He is a force inside.
And they've already traded
the Knicks are so
Green.
stupid.
He doesn't like New York anyway, I don't think.
Oh, New York.
No, nobody does. That's why I would send him there. I'd send Davis there in a second just to show him.
Yeah, exactly. Was that one of the 4 teams? Was that one of the 4 teams?
They'll say is you can make it New York, you can make it anywhere.
Yes, whatever.
But here's the thing about New York. When's the last time they've really won? I don't think they've been to the playoffs the last 5 or 6 years.
Well, Dave DeBuscher's been dead a long time, and so has the Knicks.
But here's the thing. You look at the Knicks. They have all this high salary. They paid Larry Brown off $45 million to fire him after a half of a season. I mean, they do just stupid things.
That is so stupid.
They've got a really bad owner there. Thompson, I think.
Oh, yeah. And then he goes and gets the guy when the Sacramento Kings hadn't been winning, hires him as his general manager. What's up with that?
Yeah.
And then you go and hire Fizdale. And all these people talk about, oh, Fizdale, he's a player's coach. He just didn't make it in Memphis. That guy can't coach at all. He's terrible.
Yeah.
And look at him. He's not winning there. He's not doing anything there. All you can say about him is he's got a hot wife. But that's about it.
Exactly.
He has done
That's what I was
nothing.
thinking, Gordon.
That's what you were thinking, Dan?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She's trust me, everybody looked her up more than they did him up when we signed him.
But he's out there getting, what, $2 or $3 million to coach the Knicks? He's won nothing. Nothing. Same way with Bickerstaff. He's won nothing.
No coach that the Grizzlies had at Sacramento, he's really turning that program around.
He got it going. That guy can coach.
He knows how to coach. I always noticed whenever he had a timeout, his play always seemed to work whenever he drew up a play. He knew basketball.
But at the end of his tenure at the Grizzlies, and I think I can say this even though we're on getting filmed and stuff, I think he just got pissed off because they kept bringing him all these players in on 10-day contracts and getting rid of them. And that's when you had an injury-riddled team. And I think that he thought to himself, there's really no commitment here. And then he probably asked for some stuff, and the owner told him to get rid of him. And I think that's the way it went down.
You know, I told Bill this before, Gordon, that the Grizzlies have never paid more than the Tigers have on their basketball coaches.
No doubt.
The Tiger coaches have always made more than the Grizzlies coach.
Yeah.
That's kind of a spit in the face. If you're
Fizdale was the highest paid. How about that?
Yeah.
I think he got like 3 or 2.9 or something like that.
Tubby got that. They both together probably couldn't have 30 wins between them.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't think Fizdale can win anything. I mean, you know.
No, I think he was a cheap pick, and everybody liked him for the. You know, I could give me LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Let's see what I can do.
Dan, pull back on that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying he was a cheap pick. Everybody thought he was cool, and
Yeah.
If you don't know basketball, you don't know basketball.
The only thing he did do, though, that I thought, and everybody liked it, was he made T-shirts on that press conference.
Don't rook us.
What was that?
Oh, where he said don't rook us.
Yeah,
like
something like that. Exactly, because I mean, he was 100% right on that deal.
But you know what I think they ought to do, Dan? I think they ought to fire Bickerstaff, maybe at the end of the year, maybe mid-season, and hire Tom Thibodeau. You need somebody who can coach and who's an asshole who will go out there and win.
We're on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Don't use that word.
Okay, I won't say it. Sorry, Bill. I apologize. I'll never say
Yeah, I would like that. I would like him. He's a good analysis. I've been watching him on the NBA channel and stuff.
But the thing is, he knows how to coach. And the reason they got rid of him, he had a bunch of young prima donnas out there. Grizzlies don't really have any young prima donnas.
No, and I'll tell you, the assistant coach that won the Coach of the Year for the in the NBA, what's his name?
Assistant coach.
Wow.
Is it
Sam
who do you play for?
He coached for Toronto, got Coach of the Year. He's coaching staff.
Now he's over somewhere else and doing well. I don't get that.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's coaching for the Tigers
I
now.
played in Mercer. What is his name?
Is it Sam Vincent or not Sam Vincent?
Sam. Oh, God, what is his name?
I can never think of his name. But the thing to get him out of the NBA was he had all these prima donnas like you talked about. And none of them knew any drills. They knew how to shoot threes and slam. He said it just frustrated him so much.
Practice.
Sam? Oh, man, my mind is blank.
Fields or Davis? What was it?
I don't know. He's on the Grizzlies staff now. That guy was a good
he
player.
is? Okay.
Yeah. Now he's on the Memphis Tigers staff.
And I tell you what, he drops some F-bombs. I was close to him, and he gives those kids hell. He rides them.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? There's no gray area. I mean, they accept it and go on and do what they're supposed to do, or they become crybabies and take their problems to the administration.
We've all played sports enough, and every coach has jumped you one time or another. I don't care who you are. And sit you, and they don't want to hear what your game plan is.
That's right.
Okay, guys, I know I've held y'all up too long. I just want to get out of the train and everything else.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the show as always. Gordon, good to talk
that.
to you, my friend.
Man, appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, guys, take care.
Have a good weekend. All right, our number 452-3094. I think we're going to break here. Then we got our Rapid Rob Brown coming on. I got
at 4:30.
Yeah, listen. If I don't mention this to him, we've got to find out what he thinks is the deal with this George Pickens, who was a lock for Auburn, and then at the signing he went with Georgia. I'd like to know what the deal is on this. He's a 5-star, so this has got to be something. Oh, yeah, it's all about the money. So you've got to turn loose the money. They're all doing it. I don't care if it's right or wrong.
Sam Mitchell is our guy.
Sam Mitchell.
Played for the Timberwolves, free agent out of Mercer. Had a good career. Played for Musselman. Musselman loved the guy. That is the guy Dan was looking for.
Okay, Mitchell. I was thinking of who was the other one that played for FSU and then went on to play in the Sam something. Anyway, okay.
Sam Cassell, but he played in Maryland. He played in Maryland.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, he was fun to watch.
He'd be making about $40 million now.
All right, so far, all you guys hang with us because we're going to have Rapid Rob Brown coming on next, along with Gordon and Snakeskin. I'm going to do something the devil doesn't do. I'm going to leave you, but that's okay. I'll be back, but I like to listen to you guys, critique you as I'm driving away, and listen to you. You're the best. All right, we'll be back after this short sports call. Time out. I mean, ask for the others to grab you.
Look at this snake
Charles, coming
These
to your
guys
Sweetgrass for
Tennessee on
brunch.
there.
This is the best brunch in Midtown, easily.
Everything on the menu is delicious.
And it seems we always see people we know.
Every time we're here, when Sweetgrass opens on the weekends at 11, there's somebody we've talked to.
That's just the way Sweetgrass works.
Hey, that reminds me, how about we come here for Valentine's Day? I know it sounds tricky.
Not at all. I was assuming we'd spend Valentine's together, and I was assuming it would be here at Sweetgrass.
I didn't want to make any assumptions.
I think at this point, where you and me and Sweetgrass are concerned, you can safely make assumptions.
This is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. What if I could tell you, or for that matter, show you how you could get a class 4 impact-resistant shingle and make money by doing it? No, it's